Whether you like it or not, electric motorcycles are coming. Don't worry though, the future isn't so bad, as there are 10 very good reasons to actually be excited for electric vehicles, and I will be going over all of them in this video. Number 1. Torque. As many of you probably know by now, torque is better than horsepower. Torque is what you feel, it's that pull that we all love, and electric motorcycles are some of the torquiest vehicles in existence. Bikes like the Zero FSX might only make 27 horsepower, a similar number to the Yamaha WR250R. However, the WR only makes about 18 foot-pound of torque, whereas the electricity-powered Zero makes 78 foot-pound of torque. Not only does the Zero make 4 times the amount of torque, but it also makes it right away at nearly 0 RPMs. That means that if you ever want to accelerate on an electric bike, all you have to do is twist the throttle ever so slightly and it will pull like hell. Number 2. Smoothness. Despite having incredible torque, electric motorcycles are amazingly smooth. They have virtually no vibrations from the engine and the power is always on tap. Because most electric bikes just have one gear, there's never any throttle stumble or acceleration dip either. It's just smooth power when you want it, where you want it, without thinking about it. Number 3. Customizable power bands. How great would it be to have the ability to customize the type of power band your motorcycle has with your smartphone? Some electric bikes have this feature and I absolutely love the idea. You can have multiple different rider modes that will totally transform your bike. I know that there already are rider modes on gasoline-powered motorcycles, but those rider modes simply limit the power and sometimes change throttle response and traction control settings. But with customizable power bands, you can literally make your bike act like a 600cc Super Sport with little low-end grunt but with a hard high-end pull. Or you can make it like a naked bike with lots of bottom-end power but not a lot up top, or like a leader bike with tons of power everywhere. You can make it run more conservatively for easy cruising action and fuel economy, or you can have it on track mode, twisty mode, city mode, commuter mode. The possibilities are endless and you can truly adjust everything to exactly how you want it. You can now have many bikes built into one and live a unique experience every time you ride. Number 4. Reliability. Because electric motors are still unknown, there is a question of reliability. However, in theory, electric motorcycles will be much more reliable. Gasoline-powered engines have tons of complicated pieces that can go wrong. Electric motors are very simple in comparison, although like everything it will take time to work the kinks out, but just look at Tesla, they go hundreds of thousands of miles and experience no issues. If you hate worrying about breaking down, then you will love an electric bike. It's like fuel injection versus carburetors. Purists will say how much better carbs are because they are simple and easy to fix compared to fuel injection, but honestly, I've never had an issue with fuel injection on any of my bikes. They are just built so well it's never a worry. Not sure if I could say the same about carburetors. Number 5. Maintenance and cost. As I said before, with gasoline engines, there are many moving parts. Because of this, there is so much for us to worry about. You have valves that need adjusting, cam chain tensioners that need replacing, clutches, transmissions are all wear items eventually, even the pistons and piston rings, head gaskets, the list goes on and on. There's also regular maintenance items such as oil changes, coolant flushes, spark plugs, and air filters. On an electric motorcycle, you really only have to worry about tires and maybe brakes. And because of regenerative braking, you will not have to replace the brakes as often as with a gasoline-powered engine as well. So honestly, the only item you'll have to think about really is the tires, and maybe a chain if it's chain-driven, but most of Zero motorcycles are belt-driven, so you don't even have to worry about that. That's a good deal. Number 6. Money saving. Even though the initial price of an electric motorcycle may be high, over time you will save money. Maintenance costs alone will offset the price difference in just a few years, especially if you bring your bike to the dealer. Then of course there's the cost of gas versus the cost of electricity. On average in the United States, electricity is about 60 cents cheaper per gallon compared to gas. Believe me, over time, that will add up. Number 7. No restrictions. Because electric vehicles give off no emissions, there's no reason for EPA to have to choke out performance. With gasoline-powered vehicles, there are catalytic converters, baffles, pair systems, O2 sensors, and more. In fact, most bikes come lean from the factory in order to help them pass emissions. Electric vehicles don't have to worry about any of these regulations, so they're designed to work perfectly right from the factory. Number 8. Performance. The performance of an electric motorcycle is amazing. Electric motors are not just torque machines, they are also real performance vehicles. The Lightning RS has a top speed of 218 miles per hour, beaten only by the Kawasaki Ninja H2R. Not that many of us need to go anywhere near that speed, but it's safe to say that electric sport bikes will easily be able to hit that top speed limit of 186 miles per hour the other bikes are restricted to. The only negative side to performance the electric vehicles experience is that they are a bit on the heavy side, but over time as battery technology advances, we will see that go down as well. Number 9. They're completely silent. Electric bikes are the definition of stealth. I know that most of us will miss the sound of our engine and exhaust, but there are many benefits to having a silent and stealthy motorcycle. First off, being quiet helps keep the attention away from you. You won't have to worry about cops as much, and because it's so quiet you can actually enjoy the ambient noises you hear. It truly allows you to enjoy your surroundings. Also, if you had an electric dirt bike, you wouldn't have to worry about people getting angry at you riding in the woods because they won't even know you're there. And there are hundreds of studies proving that loud pipes do not actually save lives. This is evident by the amount of motorcycles you see that get hit even though they have really loud exhausts. There are far better ways at staying safe. If safety really is your biggest concern, then go pick up a high-vis vest. They're about $20 and are 1,000 times more efficient at keeping you safe compared to a loud exhaust. I'll leave a link in the description for you safety-conscious people out there. I'm sure you'll take a look at that. Number 10. The potential. Currently, the only disadvantages of electric bikes involve one of two things: that it's not completely refined. For instance, when cars first started being produced, it was difficult finding gas stations, but as more people started buying cars, the demand increased and gas stations started popping up. The same thing will happen with electric charging stations as well. The same thing with range of the batteries, reliability, and confidence. A Zero DS has a combined range of 122 miles. That is already not too far off from most gas-powered motorcycles, but we do know that as they continue to develop these batteries, they will end up going much more, maybe even 200 miles combined, maybe even more than that. Also, they'll be quicker to charge too. And you already have the ability to plug your bike in when you get home, so when you go to leave for work the next morning, you can always have a full charge every single day. If you are responsible with your charging and don't have a long commute, then you could very well never have to stop at a recharge station entirely. Now, the other disadvantage of electric vehicles is simply nostalgia. I get it, I too love the sound of my exhaust behind me as I get on the throttle. I also love working on bikes, taking them apart, upgrading them and modding them out. I enjoy shifting gears and messing around with the clutch lever. Motorcycles have such great character to them, and because of that and what they mean to me, I will never get rid of all my gasoline powered motorcycles. But that doesn't mean I'm opposed to adding an electric bike to my garage. I think the problem with us as motorcyclists is that we get caught up in picking sides. We either hate electric vehicles or love them, when there's a third option, and that's both. As much as I see electric motorcycles eventually taking over, I still think gas will always be an option, just like how two-stroke dirt bikes are still an option. Some people may also point out that when an electric motorcycle dies, there's no way to fix it, unlike a gasoline-powered motorcycle. However, you have to consider the amount of complexity involved in a modern supersport. Just look at something like the BMW S1000RR. There's no way in a million years I would ever tangle with that mess. If something went wrong, the bike would be going straight to BMW. So as far as a new bike is concerned, I don't really see this as a disadvantage. Anyway guys, electric motorcycles will have their time, and maybe, just maybe, you should swing a leg over onto an electric bike and try it out before judging it. One day I will own one, and you will too. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and bye-bye.